Let's just jump right into it. Today's title is Atlanta is Atlantis, but Black people can't swim. Atlanta is Atlantis, but Black people can't swim. I often think, I say, why wouldn't slave owners and masters want the Negro slave to not be able to read? Now, of course, there were slaves that were able to read. If I'm not mistaken, Howard University was founded 2 years after slavery ended. But let's just go with the narrative that slave masters and slave owners did not want Black people to read. As I think about what Black people have done with all of this information and knowledge they have gained over the centuries, I see why. I see why they wouldn't want Black people to learn how to do certain things, because we get this. We get this.
Atlanta is Atlantis. 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 Atlanta is Atlantis.
Atlanta is Atlantis. So imagine a group of people trying to use their energy to, in a sense, resurrect Atlantis, or I guess in this case, submerge Atlanta, but most of them can't swim. Imagine a group of people that can't swim, but want to live in a city submerged underwater. There's something wrong with them. And y'all know it's true. Black people latch on to any and everything. There's a saying that says that an idle mind is the devil's playground. The devil has turned Black people's mind into an amusement park, a literal amusement park.
Not just culture, that's free. They hid it in plain sight, Atlantis. Atlantis ain't lost. It's buried beneath the streets of Atlanta, Georgia. That energy you feel in the red clay, in the pulse of the city, that's not just culture, that's frequency, ancient frequency. Because before this city was built, there was a civilization, luminous and advanced, whose knowledge ran deeper than any textbook. Atlantis wasn't fiction. It was a real grid, a sacred kingdom swallowed by time and deception. They renamed it, paved it over, dropped towers on top, but the codes are still there. Every peach tree and streetcar, line rides on submerged temples and magnetic stones that still hum with memory. Atlanta sits on a power center, a portal, a throne. And those with eyes to see and hearts to remember, we know the truth. We're not just standing on history, we are standing on divinity. Atlantis lives, under our feet, inside our blood, and through our awakening. Now, rise and remember, seize resurrection.
And you know what's crazy is that Black people's self-esteem is so low that they'll almost believe anything. And again, Atlanta was not built by Black people. So what you notice that Black people, because they haven't actually built anything, they just make stuff up. They give themselves credit. It's actually quite narcissistic. Black people give themselves credit for everything, even when they didn't do anything. I told somebody today, I said, Black people know everything and absolutely nothing at the same time. Black people haven't built anything, but yet they take credit for everything. Imagine taking credit for Atlanta, Georgia. Imagine taking credit for Atlantis. You haven't built either one, but you're taking credit for it. Now, of course, I don't believe in Atlantis. Of course I don't. I'm just saying that Black people take credit for everything because they haven't actually done anything. And it's quite sad. It truly is. They're like a bunch of children running around. This is why I haven't been Black in 5 years, because I saw the writing on the wall years ago. I said, y'all think it's graffiti, but I can see that it's hieroglyphics. I read what was on the wall, and it told me that Black is a program. If you are subscribing to being Black, you are already in a program. You are already in what I call the Blatrix. You are already under a system of control. You are not free. You are not woke. You are not conscious. You are a literal, living, walking, breathing program. Some may even call you a bot. I guess you're the Black version of a bot, so you're a blot. You're a blot in the Blatrix. A bliggity that's a blot in the Blatrix. But let's continue. And I'm going to say this too. I think one of the worst things to happen to Black people is social media, and next will be AI. Because remember what I said, that an idle mind is a devil's playground. The devil has turned the Black person's mind into an amusement park. But imagine that and think about what social media has done to Black people and what AI is going to do to Black people. Now think about Atlanta, the STD rates through the roof. Most Black children can't read or write or do math on grade level. They got the highest homicide rate among Black men in the state of Georgia. They have the highest abortion rate in the state of Georgia for the women. I mean, it's just so many problems going in Atlanta. But these people are coming together to tell the world that Atlanta is Atlantis, not actually fixing anything or solving any problems, just gathering a group and say that Atlanta is Atlantis and then end with Ashe. Like it's actually very comical, but it's actually quite sad that Black people's self-esteem is so low and they see themselves with such little value to where they just latch on to anything. They hold on to anything. They're actually very narcissistic, but actually also very parasitic. Anything that Black people see and they marvel at, they take credit for it. They want to somehow tie themselves into what they believe is something that's great. It's actually a sickness. It is.
But look round you. You the memory. You the return. Told you was born in chains. But look round you. You the memory. You the return.
This ain't no fairy tale kingdom. This is Atlantis.
Every mark, every site, built by our hands. Now they listening, the grid hearing us again.
This ain't no myth, bro. These sites, they talking, grid reactivating, and it only responds to us.
This whole realm is the real Atlantis. And baby, we never left.
We broke the law of the land, so the land broke us. Gaia, she was hurt. We betrayed the source, so now the Titans responded. What was one, split. Gaia broke herself into several land masses.
You were a means to an end, Gaia. You will be free.
This the part they don't tell you. We ain't fall cause of war. We fell cause we got arrogant. We started splicing beasts, blending bloodlines, trying to build gods instead of be one. That's when nature turned on us.
It's where it started. Not war, not fire, vibration, misused. We broke the song, that's why it all fell.
And what's crazy is that even though in this they're saying that they broke the law and they violated Mother Earth, Gaia, they're still not saying it from a sense of it's still a sense of pride. Like even in the midst of your destruction, you're still prideful. And I know this is all fake and fairy tale and make believe, but you all get the gist of what I'm saying is that Black people, on one hand, are narcissistic, but on the other hand, they have very low self esteem. And I guess I would imagine that most narcissists don't view themselves very highly. That's why they always project. That's what Black people do all the time. But it's just funny to me that the new movement isn't for these children to be able to read, write, and do math on grade level. The new movement isn't to lower these STD rates. The new movement isn't to increase these marriage rates. The new movement is to stop the homicides, stop the killings. The new movement isn't to stop the abortions. The new movement isn't about building anything. The new movement is more self-grandizing, more self-worship, more just look at me, look how great I am. It's actually disgusting. Black people actually think that in the end of all of this, God's going to look at them and say, I'm well pleased. I just don't know how you all are figuring that's going to take place when you are literally causing destruction on this earth, so much to where you're actually tearing down a nation, the same nation that you all claim that you built, but you're so willing to tear it down. Today's title is Atlanta is Atlantis, but Black people can't swim.